Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Teresa Del Tufo, and I've had the honor of serving in the Delaware Women's Hall of Fame for many years, and also at the Commission for Women. And my goal right now is to introduce Charlotte King, who has been my personal friend for many years. And I remember very clearly to this day, she was one of the ones who really advocated for me. And many years ago, it was snowing and raining, and I've had a book signing at the Rehoboth Public Library, and there weren't anybody coming. But there was Charlotte King coming in there, supporting me. And I would see Charlotte in the halls of Legislative Hall advocating for anything that has to do with inclusion, equity, justice. So I've had a personal interest in Charlotte King for many years. Now, Charlotte, when our inductee has been dedicated her life to justice, community, and service, Ms. Charlotte King is the founder and chair emeritus of the Southern Delaware Alliance. I probably should use my glasses. I can't read. I forgot. She has been the director of the Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice, an organization she led for its first 8 years, building into a powerful voice of equity across Sussex County. In addition to that, she's also a licensed social worker, a retired social service administrator. Charlotte also has worked directly with children, families, while also shaping systemic change. She has served as president of Delaware League of Women's Voters and a member of the Delaware Commission for Women, where I served with you, Charlotte, if you remember, many years ago, and in countless community boards and commissions that includes the Delaware Criminal Justice Council, to the First Community Action Agency, to supporting many initiatives in schools, in healthcare, and social justice. Her advocacy has been recognized with numerous honors, including the ACLU Candler Award, the Jefferson Award, and the Mitchell Award. She's even served as the honorary commander of the Delaware State Police 7, a reflection of the deep trust and respect she has earned. Now let's take a moment to celebrate the incredible Charlotte King as we hear from those who know her best.
Charlotte's work is ongoing, and a lot of it is around racial justice, injustice, community advocacy. She wants to empower others with knowledge so they make intelligent and informed decisions. She absolutely fights for the individuals who can't fight for themselves, who can't speak for themselves, whose voices aren't heard, whose causes aren't championed. I believe that this is the core of who she really is.
She started Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice for just that reason, and for exactly what it is. Racial justice. Racial justice is her passion. Racial justice is her blood. She wants to make sure that every group, not only Black folks, but all folks. So racial justice should be equal throughout the state, and it shouldn't even be a question.
Whether it's in education, whether it's a healthcare issue, maybe it's a legal issue. People in our community reach out to Charlotte as the person to go to help. And what's most powerful is she listens. She listens to their concerns, and then she tries to, in her power, to reach out to her vast influence of people to find a solution for that individual. Working in the social worker field, she saw a lot of injustices with the clients that she dealt with. She saw that sometimes the system doesn't respond to the needs of others in a way that it should. So if you see this, then you're unhappy, then you say, what can I do? I mean, you can complain, right? But let's take the complaint to another level. Let's try to change. So I think this has been her life trajectory all along. It started earlier in her career, in her work life, in her social setting, in the neighborhoods, maybe even in her childhood, I don't know. But I will say, when you constantly see something and you know that there is another way to resolve or to go about to accomplishing and making it better for others who have less than you, then something inside of you ignites and says, I want to make it better for others. How can I do that?
And how old was she when she started the organization?
My God. She's, and God forgive me for this, she's 87, so 80 in her later years. That's what I'm saying. She spent her whole life as a woman of service, in social services, in Catholic charities, in doing everything for everybody else. This is what she's did for her. And I'm telling you, to this day, she said she would die and wither away without it. It's that much of her life, and I totally believe it. There is nothing more important to my mom than SDARJ, nothing. And the theory and the concepts behind it about fairness, about equality, is her passion.
Through years of tireless service, Charlotte King has provided steady and really very courageous leadership in uplifting communities and in promoting equity and social justice for people like me, immigrants, and people who are the focus of racism, and at sometimes at the expense of her safety, her personal safety. And for these years of courageous service to the community and inspiring others to act, we invite Charlotte King to come, not to the stage, but to accept her induction into the Delaware Women's Hall of Fame. Let's, Charlotte King, please. Are you gonna come up? Let's invite her to the stage.
Forgive me for not standing and honoring all of you. Forgive me for not standing and honoring all of you. And also allow me 6.5 minutes. I often say racism has been around for 400 years, so give me at least these 6 minutes. Let me also apologize. I came here today very honored, very humbled by this honor as a woman, but I want to talk to you not as a woman about women. I want to talk to you as a Black American about America in the little time that I've been given. Thank you, Governor Maya, for this honor. Thank you, Sharice, Brewing, and Carr for the recognition and approval that your Office of Women Advancement and Advocacy has given me. Thank you, my friends and colleagues, and I have to name them because these are the people who made the Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice work. These are the folks who have put a lot of time in for the past 7 years. So I want you to know them. Drew McKay, Gwendolyn Miller, Jay Shavo, Father Mark Harris, Marlene Saunders, Jack Buccioni, Kathleen and Preston Shell, Henley Graves, Paula Rappa, Bernice Edwards, Sue Nyden. They're all here tonight, and I am honored by their presence. All of these folks have contributed greatly to the Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice. Despite their many other obligations, they continue to work towards our vision, which is the elimination of racism and its corrosive consequences. Now, I'm realistic enough to know that we weren't planning on erasing or eliminating racism in a year. It is a lifelong journey, but we decided that we would start on that journey, and perhaps others would join us, and for future generations, for your children and your grandchildren, we'll see less and less of the malignancy that keeps us from going forward. I also want to thank my representative, Claire Snyder Hall, for being the genuine leader that you are. And I voted for you because you are a genuine leader. And though I did not expect to see him here today, so he's not in my speech, President Biden, I love you. That's all I can say. I love you. I want to introduce and also give recognition to my family who share my happiness in this honor and who have come a distance to be here. My daughter Rachel, if you notice from the film, she looks just like me, and daughter-in-law Sherry from Chicago, who are my wonderful caretakers, my sister Yvonne, who came from, and her husband Mel, who came from Charlotte, North Carolina last night to be with me. And my sister-in-law, Jean King, who came from Karonzik, New York, which is way up in the mountains of New York, and is hopefully enjoying Delaware during her brief stay here. Let me say I am so honored and humbled by my acceptance into the Delaware Hall of Fame, Women's Hall of Fame. But I view my efforts towards the elimination of racism and social injustices as a citizen mandate and a responsibility. It is nothing exceptional. It should be the mandate for all of us. It is incumbent upon all of us to make the dream of what our country could be, but has not yet become a reality. It can be a nation of caring people who honor our respective differences and recognize our common humanity which binds us and identifies us as one family, one people, one nation. It must be a nation of people who understand that justice cannot be unequally distributed and compromised and dispensed as a bribe or a bonus rather than a universal entitlement. It must be a nation of people who are committed to love, peace, and nonviolence, and who demonstrate their commitment through meaningful action. A nation of people who need to acknowledge our history, recognize its impact on the present and the future of the next generation, and pledge to help make this democracy, this republic, what it was supposed to be, a beloved community, as Martin Luther King called it, a safe haven, a growing opportunity for all. Maya Angelou, one of the great contributors, and a woman, of course, to our American society, said the following, "You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air I'll rise. Out of the huts of the history's shame I rise, up from the past that's rooted in pain I rise. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear I rise, into a daybreak that's wondrously clear I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise." I have a request for all of you. How I wish that I was younger and stronger. Then I'd be standing up there on the stage and maybe doing a little dance like one of the other honorees have done. But I am not. My voice grows softer, if you can believe it, because I've always been a loud New Yorker, and my legs weaker. But John Lewis and other great Americans have said, stand up, speak out, and do something to preserve and improve our democracy. To do anything less makes us allies of those who govern with hate, violence, and destruction, oppression, and against justice. You know, the irony of it is that those that are most visible these days and are the loudest and are the destruction of change agents who preach hate, practice violence, and appeal to so many naive citizens have gotten that message from John Lewis. They're the ones that speak out, and they speak up, and you see them every day in every place. If it works for them, this theory of speaking up and speaking out and doing something, then why not for those of us who refuse to be crippled by fear, who are nonviolent, who are servant leaders, whose ambitions are not self-centered, who are courageous, who recognize that silence is cowardly defeat, who recognize that in a democracy there is no I, only we, and who know that we have the right and the moral and civic obligation to do what is right for everyone. So here's the favor I'm asking from all of you. So rise up with me, for me, with loving, nonviolent determination, and speak out with boldness, truth, and courage. We cannot move forward through fear and denial. Allow hope to replace despair. Allow determination to replace resignation. Say I will instead of I will think about it. Lead with purpose, born out of universal truths on behalf of the people that you serve, rather than convenient compromises that seldom lead to needed, timely change. Collectively, as Delawareans, let us say no to racism, to hate. Through our families, communities, and state of Delaware, let us make Delaware the model of the beloved community, our gift to the nation. Let us be that example. And thank you so much for allowing me to speak to all of you and for this wonderful, wonderful award. Thank you.